All right. How about now? How far a lag am I? Hello? Hello? All right. Hey, I got it figured out. Muted. Hmm. All right. All right, boys and girls, here it is, 6:06, and I finally get it figured out. I hope I hope y'all can hear me. All right. Anyway, Rabun County Rag, RAG. I kind of borrowed the synonym acronym from the ham radio community, and the ham radio community would get on the frequency if they had a set frequency, and as a community they would get together on that frequency and check in with each other and see how they were doing, update on traffic conditions or anything like that. They would check on each other. Let me check this. So that's kind of what I had in mind when I came up with this idea. And so I'm sure y'all are having a ball or scrolling along when you come across me out here trying to or puttering around trying to get something going in the community, and that's what I want. If you got time and you want to step in on this 1 hour every Thursday night from 6 to 7, it'll be opportunity for people to have a live interaction. I can do guests and things like that. It takes some more work, but I remember when I was a truck driver or a salesman that I would often travel through the smaller communities in South Georgia, North Georgia, and the Carolinas, and uh, you know, a lot of times they, um, a lot of times they, you would run across an AM station out there, and Saturday morning especially, people would be talking on the radio, talking about how the crops were doing, talking about the price of cotton or whatever, and then they had an open line where they would somebody would call in and say, "Hey, this is Joanne. I got a couple old quilts for sale," or "This is Joe. I got a '72 truck with a PTO for sale," and they'd give you the contact information, and you can call them up and make a deal with them, or call the radio station and he would hook you up or whatever. I don't remember how it worked, but I remember that it was interesting to listen to some of the stuff they would be selling when you're going down the roadway. Anyway, that's kind of thing, and you know, to live in Raven County, I consider myself blessed. Um, I've only been here full time for 8 years, But all the time growing up, high school, college, raising kids, working, uh, this was my getaway place. Uh, the Chattooga River over here, the Wildcat, Moccasin, Tallulah, Persimmon up in that area. So yeah, Panther Creek. I've been all over fishing and camping up here with family, solo. When I had to just bail out, uh, so I committed to be here. And now that I'm here, I see changing, and I understand that change is inevitable, that we have to be prepared to face it. But I moved here because of the location and the small town feel and the clean air and the clean water. And I don't know that some people are as interested in that as I am. I know that you're a private property owner. You have a right to do anything you want with your land. The only thing I'm suggesting is that we be careful of the culture that we allow into our community. I wrote a little note here, and if we don't take control of our community and culture, who will? You know, I've lived in Atlanta most of my life, and I've watched that change because we were said we had to accept other people's culture. And when you look at it now, it's a culture of lackadaisical approach to life, violence, um, dependency, all kinds of things. And that's because we were told that we had to accept people of a different race, creed, culture, religion, and all that. And I agree, except for the culture part. We have a right to bond together as a community and decide what kind of culture we're going to have in our community. And if someone has a different culture, we love them just the same, but there's no way we have to accept them into our families because we don't want to corrupt our own culture. Now, I may be off base. You know, I may want a guy who's of a worship bullfrogs in the deep Amazon, Amazonian basin. That would be cool. Come on, man. I just, I don't think I want my children learning about frog worship that originated somewhere in South America. But the culture I'm talking, we don't need people who have disregard for our constitutional rights, life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. You know, you can do anything you want. Just don't hurt me or my family. I don't know. Anyway, weird subject of discussion. Trying to talk through it and see if anybody pops up on me. Right now, I got 0 likes. Dang. I don't, I don't know if I got anybody watching. I don't even know how to use this thing. Hey, here's the analytics tab. I got 3 views. What does that mean? Somebody flipped by. Now check the stream health, suggestion, bitrate, audio. I've got it set at 128. I'll tell y'all what I'm doing. I'm using a software called OBS to create these scenes and to set this stream up. And then I'm sending it out to you guys from the OBS. And it's going over the satellites and back down. So there's lag, and I get information from YouTube telling me that certain things aren't right. Warning, the current bit rate is okay. So it's the satellite uplink more than likely, and I still have to defend Starlink and Elon Musk. Billion, and I've said this before. I don't know if this was here or in a meeting on another stream, but the taxpayers have paid billions and billions of dollars into a program called Rural Internet Act or something crazy like that. And it's another scam. It's payback. Politicians give money to these, or these companies give money to these politicians. In return, they promise to start these programs where they take money from the taxpayer and give it to these companies. I don't know if it's in good faith or not. As of late, I'm beginning to wonder. But they would give contracts to these contributors who owned an internet company, and they were going to improve the rural internet. Yeah, that didn't happen where I lived at. And I've done some checking. I'll take. Uh, I used to work or use a company called Windstream. They're out of the Midwest somewhere. I don't remember exactly. And then they took the money and run and sold it to Windstream. Uh, and then Windstream came in and all these promises, and I'm sure they were bamboozled by the other company. Everybody's just taking money. Nobody doing anything worthwhile anymore. Oh no. Am I silent? I might be. I shouldn't be. No. Huh. If y'all are watching me flapping my lips and you ain't hearing nothing, let me know. I don't even know how the lag is. All right. How about now? Wow. How far lag am I? Hello? Well, that's been a while. How far lag am I? All right. I got it figured out. All right. Well, here we go. All right. Well, here we go. All right. Hey, I had the mic muted. I had the mic muted. I had the mic. Anyway, let me pause that. Uh, Boy, that was quite a storm we had come through on Friday. Uh, I guess the roads were clear by Saturday evening, the main arteries, but up here on the hill, I didn't even get out till Monday, or was it Tuesday? It was Tuesday, and I barely got the darn driveway. Uh, Daughter and son-in-law came down in their little Chevy, and they couldn't make it out. I had some of that ice melt down there in the basement in the shovel, and he went out there and did it. I wasn't going to. It was too damn cold, and it wasn't but one bag of salt. It he sure wouldn't want to direct a fat boy like me. He'd be mad. He'd rather do it by himself. I've seen him before. I know what it's like. Get aggravated with an old man. Hell, you ought to see how aggravated I get with them. Anyway, how long we been doing this? 23 minutes. I'm going till 7. Yeah. So I got started a little early trying to figure this stuff out. Well, anyway, back on the snowstorm. Check out these headlines. Decorated with snowy blast. Yeah, well, hell, man. Um, I, I walked in to get this paper delivered to the mailbox and get the electronic copy so I could share some of this stuff with y'all. Uh, something struck me. I said, correlated, decor, and then I read it, in the it says here, Winter Storm Cora. My dad lives down in the South on the Atlantic, and had a hurricane come through years ago. And to come to find out, if it's a named storm, if you read your policy, the policy has provisions. And I have seen as much as double the deductible if it's a named storm. And over the years, I've watched unlock. I have watched the news and the newspapers, and they are naming the fool out of these darn windstorms. If it looks like it's going to get windy, they name it. I wonder who's making those decisions. Who has an interest in that kind of thing? Insurance companies, railroads, trucking, grocery. Who would want to lobby the National Weather Service to create the criteria for naming a storm? Who is in charge of determining who can name a storm. And I need to look and see what the criteria is. But I bet it's a decision based on a whole bunch of stuff that's easily confused. And the highest up, if there's no more than 3 or 4 storms a month anywhere in the country, who makes those calls? Interesting. Cora, a snowy blast. Now, living by choice where I live, I recognized and I acted to prepare for this kind of thing. I know that for up to 10 days, I need to be prepared. And that preparation includes a generator, if you got one. Here's the thing. Those generators have to run all the time. Now, you can manage them. You go out there and plug only your freezer and refrigerator up to it and the internet maybe for 2 or 3 hours. And then you need to cut it off. You need to keep a steady temperature. Let the temperatures rise and fall a little bit in your freezer. Don't let it get soft, but let it get, and then turn it back on and let that freezer, don't open stuff up, leave it shut, keep that cold air in. Make sure you got canned goods, canned vegetables, canned meat, Vienna sausage, sardines. That's for me. Now, for the wife, it'd be chicken, tuna, and stuff like that. I don't eat that other stuff. But beans, rice. I got a little cook stove that camping. Got Coleman lanterns, candles. We've got that stuff. And we've got auxiliary gas heat in a part of the house. So we can stay warm and fed, and we can flush the toilets. Now, like the old movie line, who was that? Dustin Hoffman? Meet the Fires. Anyway, they were a couple hippy dippy freaky. And the saying in there is, if it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down. Well, when your water source is scarce, that makes pretty good sense. Because you want to always brush your teeth, wash your body. Anyway, and I pee in the yard. So the only thing, if I'm using it, it's going to cost some water. If I am at the toilet, it's going to cost water. Especially eating them canned beans. That could be a mess. Well, here I am, entertaining myself. It says the stream's current bit rate is 2636. Current bit rate. Now, let's see if I can go to the settings and go to stream. Output, streaming, bit rate, encoder. Oh, shit. Can't that go way up? 26. Let's take it to 3,000. I don't know if that's going to do any. Apply. I hope I don't glitch. Oop. Let's see if that changed anything. current bit rate. It was at is 26 is lower. We suggest warning. Oh, to 6800. Oh shoot. Let's go and take a look at settings. Okay. Streaming. Output. Streaming. And they say, they say 6,800. Good Lord. Apply. Okay. See if satellite will hold it. Is this thing? Hey, I got this little streaming camera, and this thing will follow me. You could do all kinds of stuff. Let me see if I can find that. I'll make this crazy thing. Show y'all. It's cool. Here. Come on. There it is. All right. And we're going to kick it back up. All right. So, right now it's standard. I've got it a medium zoom, and it's a normal tracking. So it'll keep my face kind of where it was. As you see me move around, it'll track me around. Anyway, and even if I stand up, but watch this. It's got another. It's called motion tracking. And if I back up, this thing will zoom to keep this perspective. I think. I don't know if it did or not. I can't tell. I don't know what all this means. And you can turn it on to upper body. I don't know if it'll. Oh. So I can move around to show you something, and it can track me. Like if I were to go, look over here. All right. If I came this way, it would follow me. You can see the studio. If I came this way, you can see me over here. So that's called normal tracking. And then it's got one that's called upper body. And then a close-up. Let's see what it does. Is it going to move on me? I don't know. Maybe it don't like to do it while it's working. Anyway, headless. I'm going to put it back on standard, and we'll turn the close off. And it's got another section where I can tell it what to do. I could put it to sleep. I could say, like right now, unlock me. Okay? So it'll stay pointed exactly where it is, and it's not following me around. Anyway, I thought it was, and I've told this before, I was a Canon guy. And I still am. I like Canon. I like their colors. I got one now giving me fits. But hell, it's been in the field. Towed it in a bag, riding around a truck, around my neck, 100 degrees and 17 degrees, me taking pictures. So, I probably had it 4, 5 years. And man, it was hard to get it to set up in these close areas. These areas aren't very big. And to get the focal length right. But I guess these webcam people have been working on it for years, you know, and Canon stayed in their field doing what they, you know, photography, high end stuff. And these webcam companies, they went to work. There's some serious competition. I hadn't had a I hadn't had a new laptop in probably 10 years. It was a i7 with like a second generation NVIDIA. I don't remember. It's right over there. And I remember the camera on that laptop got me in search of a webcam. And I already had Canon. I liked it. And I tried to set that DSLR up, that big body. And it was cumbersome. And you had to feed it. And it didn't have clean HDMI. The colors were good, if I ever got it right. I just got, and then I bought the smaller mirrorless camera. And it worked good, but it still didn't have clean HDMI out, and you weren't getting good information to the software from the camera because of the whatever. It just wouldn't. And then I was looking at these little. If you want to know what they are, just put me something, send me a note or something, and I'll let you know what it is. But I pulled the trigger. Well, I know I had another one, a Logitech 900, 920. I don't remember one. And I was impressed with that. And the guy I worked for, he needed it. He came in, he got it off my office and put it in his office. Used it, and I used it as an excuse to go get me a new camera. Not that I paid for, but it gave me an excuse to justify in my mind. And I bought another, the smaller mirrorless. If you want to know what that is, leave me a comment and I'll send you something. But I used that thing for 2 or 3 years. No, just a couple of years. And then I learned about black magic. And I got one in there in the studio. I like it. You got to know your game. And I got the ATM, the little broadcast thing. You can set up multiple cameras and you can have guests. It's cool, and you can do it. But since I semi-retired, and if you go back in on my safety channel, Middle Class Space Bubba, and go back and look at some of my old videos, you can see me changing from the older camera to the newer. You can see all those cameras. And get to the black magic, and you go, I went, wow. And so I set up a studio next door, and it's got some fly tying stuff. And I used to make my safety videos in there because I would come home on the weekends and just do it. And then I semi-retired. And I got to where I was having video conferences. And I'd have to go in there. And I couldn't do it at my work desk. And so when I left Atlanta, I had a computer, so I set up that studio. I had this one in the office, and this one over here, you can't see it. Let me see. Uh, let me see. Where's my? Oh, see if I go the right way. Oh, wrong way. All right. Let's see. Come on. There you go. All right. That computer I use for photo editing. And that screen right there is a OLED. And I share screens. I can share the screen I'm working on, or I can share that screen right there with it. And if I'm doing some artwork, digital artwork, I can work on it on the little computer with a display and then look at it in a large view on this screen. And it's real useful. As a matter of fact, I might. What time I got? I got 17 minutes. I hope I don't. Let me turn this camera back. Hello. I'm over here. Yeah, you see, it gets a little grainy when I get over there in the dark. All right. I'm in a medium. Let's go to top, standard. All right. Where was I? So, I forgot what I was talking about. That. Anyway, and I do a lot of, at this station, it'd be hard to show you this. It's a mess. Anyway, let me try. Hey, look, this thing's got a desk mode. Let's see what that looks. Look, there's my hand. Let's see if it'll follow my hand. Not really. All right. Left hand. It ain't really. I'm going to shut that stuff off. That's all AI mode. Yeah, there you go. And so a lot of times I was sitting at that desk and I made my video calls. And then that old computer I told you I have for 10 years, man, that thing it did a great job. And I've got it corrupted somehow in the data storage. Not a bad corruption, just stack too many files in one place. And so I've got to go in there and remove some work documents. And then once I get those work documents removed, so I've got the hard drive star, I can do a reset on that computer and wipe it. And that thing will speed up and it'll be good. I've done some videos on that. It'll do the trick, and I'd use it. But I upgrade. And after 10 years, I got that old 4090 NVIDIA with a Core i9. And that's in this laptop. I've got the 3080. I need to check specs. It's at least a 3080 or a 3090 in that thing. So I'm processing video with the NVIDIA RTX GeForce. And so it really lowers the workload on the laptop. So I guess, anyway, back to the camera. And so I said, dang, I looked at them, and And this one got a gimbal, and I got a little DJI with a gimbal. And I said, man, if somebody took this technology and put it on a webcam, that would be a home run. And I tried to hook that old DJI gimbal little, I forget what it's called. I I tried 1,000 ways to hook it up to using Elgato or stream converters. You know where you plug the you HDMI and then convert. I was doing all kinds of plug around and just frustrated, and I threw it in a box. Anybody want to buy one? Or it's something a bit low hours. It was good for someone doing those kind of interviews in a highly mobile. So it was good. I got them drones. I've been flying them drones for 8 years. Commercial. Got me a license and everything. I got the ticket. I can fly that thing. Get out of my way. Them old boys on the job site leave me. I got credentials. Yeah. When they hear me talk like that, they know I got experience too. Jive me. Oh boy, one time I was on a job site and I was doing a courtesy, flying the drone, giving them progress. And safety guy, hey, we need you to file a flight plan with us. I said, no, I don't. He says, if you're going to, I said, I said, I can go over to the Quick Trip and take off and fly over your site, take all the pictures I want, and come back. It'll look just the same if I take off from your lot. As a matter of fact, I can go to the right of way, right down the bottom of the hill, stand there and launch that thing and fly anywhere I want, long as I can keep an eye on it and I got plenty of battery. I heard there's been some changes, but the DJI software, you could not take off unless you had approval. And you had to register and say, hey, here's my registration number. And that stuff was tracked. Buddy, all this stuff that's going on in these cities, there's probably some old boys out there practicing their drone flight. People are getting stupid. On the other hand, it could be them Chinese up there spraying aerosol COVID-25. No, I don't know. Hey, can I get demonetized for that? Am I going to get? I don't. I won't talk about that. I didn't understand. I was just trying to reach out to the people in my community, trying to get to know some people. You know? I don't know. There's a little Facebook, a perfect example of digital democracy. Somebody say something ought to be a certain way, and everybody has an opinion. Hell, sometimes I got an opinion. It's wonderful. That I'm not going to talk bad about people I love. What do you call them people? Voyeurs. If you could just get a voyeur account with Facebook, you just got to read. You couldn't respond. They got you locked out. They don't even know you're there. It's like reading the newspaper. If y'all agree with that, send me a comment. Let's see. I have 0 concurrent viewers. I'm so happy I can be myself. Ain't nobody on here. I know it's being recorded, but I ain't doing nothing but gaining experience. Maybe when old drunk Harry ain't got nothing better to do, flips through here and passes out and freezes on this video, I get me a viewer. Yep. I got one viewer. Y'all get a plaque? I don't know if I can get in trouble on YouTube for acting like this or not. Might get in trouble with my wife. Oh well. Hey, oh man, got 10 minutes. I forgot to pay. Core, we had heavy snow. Yeah. Tiger Council approves a 19 home development in the city limit. Yeah, commissioners talking about that. HB 581, House Bill in the state of Georgia. Apparently, it does something to tie the hike of some tax to the inflation rate. Why is that all of a sudden important? I don't know. Maybe they know something we don't know. I don't know. But it's got almost a full page in the paper. A little bit at the front. Half a page. Half a page. The bill establishes a statewide local floating home state exemptions that limits the annual increase in property tax assessments on homesteaded property to the rate of inflation. limits the increase in property tax assessment on homesteaded properties to the rate of inflation. So they're telling them they can't raise local taxes unless it's tied to the same rate of inflation. Why is that important? Really? Who is that going to affect? How can it affect me? I don't know. But I believe either way, my taxes are going to go up, and the county and state and federal revenues are going to go up. Who wins? Who has the advantage? I don't know. Maybe it don't even matter. Just thought. Okay. 5 minutes. I have had a blast. Hey, I have been stood up more than once. Look at this face. Don't hurt my feelings. This stuff don't cost nothing. They're darned old equipment. As long as those Starlink don't start beating me up. Oh, Elon, the government start cutting his contract. Oh, internet price is going to go. His rocket contract. What? What? You can't pay your bill? Cut him off. No, I don't blame him. All right. I was going to read some of the blotter, but this light is terrible. Got all kinds of local meetings, man. Rabun chapter, Trout Unlimited, 38 years. Rabun rendezvous. Excuse me, went out of focus. It's Rabun chapter of Trout Unlimited. You know, I've never joined that outfit. That probably costs a lot of money to get my money. I got an invitation. I never was one of them boys that participated in the fraternities in college. Nah. That kind of forces you to adhere to some kind of pecking order. Now, I know we need pecking orders. I believe in pecking orders. But as a meritocracy, you earn it. You earn it. Sacrifice life. Man. Whew. You could get after it if you're still a young man. Stay with it. Understanding wife. Keep your priorities in order. But get up earlier than anybody. I still got a couple minutes. Yeah, man. You want quiet time? Some alone time, young man? Get up at 4:30 in the morning. Who do you think else is going? The dog. The smell of coffee probably won't wake anybody up. Start good habits. As I spit out tobacco. I didn't say end bad habits. I said stay in bad. Good habits. Have good habits. Consistent. Same time. Get up. Make your bed. Unless somebody gets up later than you do, let them make it up. Keep your face shaved. Put a collared shirt on. You can wear jeans. Just don't make them ratty looking. Then you can wear boots. And not the dress boots, the work boots. Be with your men. Learn the work. Become an expert in that work. Train others to be an expert in that work. You multiply yourself. Let's see what I got. All right, boys and girls. I'm going to end this. I sure had a good time. If you scroll through this and find it later on, remember, 6 to 7 every Thursday. Send me a message if you want to talk about something. See you later. How do you end it? I have ended. End.